Hi, hope you're having a wonderful day. It's a lovely snow day where I am, so we're all bundled up at home. Or if you're not, I hope you've arrived safely wherever you needed to be. It's not a very nice day at all. Wanted to share today how life can throw us curveballs. So, just like the snowstorm, life can throw us curveballs. So, I know a lot of people who are still allowed to have just stayed home to work from home today because they can, and that makes it better. For those that couldn't, they obviously got to work, but did it slowly, drove a lot more slowly and more carefully, or left earlier to make sure they made it on time. Last week, the same thing happened to me. I was actually coming to the end of a really busy and hectic week, and I had a presentation on Friday morning. Thursday night, I was feeling really tired. Thankfully, I normally curl on Thursday night, so thankfully that was canceled, and I got to take a break and go to bed early so that I could get up and be ready for this presentation. And thank God I did, because when we got there, as soon as I came to my office, I come to my office about an hour early, and someone was texting me saying, "Am I supposed to be in the meeting now?" See, this particular meeting had been delayed 3 times. We were supposed to run it last year, and then we delayed it to January, and then we delayed it again to February. I think we had 3 or 4 different change of dates in it. When we first started talking about it, some of the people in the class or in the course had taken it before and some hadn't. So when we first started talking about it, those that hadn't were going to come in an hour early. After we delayed it for a while, I'd totally forgotten about that. So just prior to the meeting, I totally forgot that that was the case, and I just sent out an invitation to everyone from 9 to 12, same invitation. Because we had communicated that previously, that meant that some people thought they were supposed to be there at 8, and others thought they were supposed to be there at 10. So it was very confusing. I got to my office, saw the email about the one for those that thought they were coming at 8, and responded right away, apologizing, saying, "I'm so sorry, totally forgot about that, but no, we're starting at 9. When we got there at 9, not everyone was there. I said, "That's all right." And I just changed the order of what we were going to do that day so that the people who were arriving at 10 just arrived and still got the lessons that they were supposed to receive. The next problem was some of the people were still client facing. So they were sitting at a desk, but there was clients coming in to see them. So they would have to walk away from their computer. This was, I didn't make that clear. This was online for Zoom. So when we discovered this, they didn't want to miss the learning, but a lot of this 3-hour session is feedback from people who are in the room. So I didn't want to record that because sometimes people aren't as honest, or they're a little more careful with how they say things if they know it's going to be recorded for prosperity. And so we decided that, okay, when I was doing the quote unquote teaching, we would record, and when they were giving their feedback or their answers, we would stop the recording. So that way they would have access to the teachings, but not necessarily everything that their team said. And then last but not least, as I was separating everyone into breakout rooms, I discovered that one of the people had not done, this was a DISC assessment, so that's a personality assessment, was not previously on my list, and therefore had not done their profile yet. So again, okay, I just messaged her. I was going to try and guess which room she should fit in, or keep her in the room while everyone else went to the breakouts, and her and I would have some discussions. But when I messaged her, she said, "Oh no, I'm just realizing I was supposed to do this in advance. So I'm going to go and do something else with my morning, and I'll come to another session." Problem solved. Now, a few years ago, all of these things would have thrown me for a loop, and it would have made for a really difficult morning. But I've been doing speaking engagements for years now. I've been doing these types of training for years, and sometimes you just have to change up what you're doing. So I've gotten very good at it. The practice has been there, I've just rolled with the punches. So I was able to deal with all of these problems on Friday and just keep going. Probably a few years ago, before I had done so many, that would have thrown me for a loop, and I would have had a difficult morning, and I would have felt guilty all morning for making the mistake with the timing, and just had that yucky knot in my stomach. Now, because I've done it so often, then the practice is there, I can move through it. But the other piece was Thursday night, I was really tired, and rather than pushing through, I made sure that I had taken care of myself so that I was here and I was present on Friday morning to be able to make those decisions and move forward. So taking care of yourself and being able to roll with the punches, because the world will throw us a curveball at times. And when it does, we need to just make the decisions to move forward, but do it in a way that, okay, this happened. It's not about guilt. It's not about feeling bad about ourselves. It's not about any of those things. It's just about, okay, this is the problem. Here's how we're going to handle it. And now we're going to move through. And if it wasn't the right way to handle it this time, that's okay. We'll do some lessons learned and we'll figure it out next time. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself and make sure that you have these things in place. Like I said, because I've done this presentation so many times, I can probably do it in my sleep, that it was really easy for me to just switch and do something different first and change it up so that those that were coming at 10 didn't miss anything. So same thing, when you're preparing a presentation or preparing for something, just know that life can happen. So be prepared to move it around. Hope you're having an amazing day and that you're safe and warm wherever you are. Have an incredible week, and we'll see you again next week.